lot play. Where we're from, we play for keeps. That's it. We play for keeps. Always gambling. We play for keeps. We play for keeps. On those accumulators. We don't play games for fun. That's just a waste of time. See me? Gotta be ambitious, either that or be a bum. Rather stay independent than stuck under a fucking thumb. Calculating math so I can figure out the sum. I need a melody, a notepad, a microphone and drum. Some violin samples with a touch of piano. Stood in Corby Town streets high as fuck, wearing camo. The self-confessed alcoholic because I'm honest. I used to be on those away days, Nottingham Forest. Arguments erupt and some get fucked up with cutlery. See me evil laughing like Dick Dastardly and Muttley. If you're talking nonsense, I just end the chat abruptly. If the atmosphere is tense, don't be asking what's up with me. I'm forever getting wrecked, no lack of self-respect. Like playing chess on my own, I keep myself in check. See, the sun gave birth to a soul because we're stardust. These days cunts seem increasingly harder to trust. Gonna carry on until I burn out, the shit is entropy. Everything will end up in a chaotic state eventually. Studying the second law of thermodynamics, but I'm cool and not sweating it like someone who panics. I ain't fucked on Xanax or depending on diazepam. Some cunts will stab you in the back for half a gram. I ain't selling my soul out to the devil for a cheap price. Bleeding in the streets, the repercussions of street fights. Remember getting handcuffed, the backseat passenger. Scallywag, little rough bastard wearing Slazenger. Lonsdale t-shirts out of Sports Direct. Telling tales these days, rocking that Corby dialect. Bumping Prodigy, the Hegelian dialectic. Rhymes are writers so shocking that they're kind of electric. Avenues like Eddie Grant, seeing two-way streets. Thinking back on Scott spray painting, we played for keeps. We played for keeps. We played for keeps. Right now, things are advancing at such an incredible rate. I think the human race is truly gonna struggle to keep pace. So, we need to try and make changes, or waste time through the ages. Forever writing on pages, going through stages and phases. We need to try and make changes, or waste time through the ages. Yeah. Every day I'm walking 20,000 footsteps. I'm high up my box, and that's why I don't look stressed. Some are fucking clucking cause there's nothing to smoke. I throw roaches in the bob, drinking a rum and coke. Listening to the woo, can it all be so simple? As I'm sitting in my room, the rain batters off the window. We used to print books, but now people use a Kindle. I'm surrounded by the madness in a lifetime that's sinful. Some I know that still keep a stash in their socks. I stay in focus mode, sampling beats on laptops. The only concern we used to have was selling hash, and now I'm making tracks where I'm at, out in Belfast. From flat block stairwells with a bottle of Buckfast. What heads had in common was they didn't have much cash. Somehow I stayed clear of trouble, but some crashed. They're called short-term highs, cause the fun doesn't last. It's the kid who watched British Bulldog and Hulk Hogan. Now I'm seeing Edward Snowden spill the beans on Joe Rogan. Messing with my levels, dopamine and serotonin. Cunts fuck with my emotions, get adrenaline flowing. I tend to keep my chin up while always try and get my head down. Want to understand my own mind better like Darren Brown. I'm sticking to my roots and representing my town. I get around, but heavy is the head that wears the crown. I ain't wasting half my life drunk pissing in pubs. Instead I spend it with my boy, that's unconditional love. I used to listen to that track on Tupac, greatest hits, full volume, hit him up then troublesome. 96, back in 95, when we robbed those sweets out the shop. Then a decade later, all we cared about was a wheat crop. Shit ain't changed, but things will never be the same. On redemption songs like Red Fox and Andy Dufresne. We need to try and make changes, or waste time through the ages. Forever writing on pages, going through stages and phases. We need to try and make changes, or waste time through the ages. Forever writing on pages, going through stages and phases. We need to try and make changes, or waste time through the ages. Forever writing on pages, going through stages and phases. We need to try and make changes, or find ourselves lost in mazes. Forever writing on pages, going through stages and know. Can you relate? Like string a bell, Idris Elba. Picking up my son, we drive and listen to Griselda. Watch the Simpsons episode with Santa's little helper. Youngins chatting shit to me, don't disrespect your elder. Friday night, catch up with the boys, drop the paper off. Think of life's expenses while I'm weighing up the cost. Some are weighing up white with ambitions being Tony. I got split personalities, nobody really knows me. I get where I'm supposed to be by necessary means. Watch my football teams play on illegal streams. That online pirate, cause I ain't paying for box office. Some are getting robbed blind at knife point, empty pockets. Giving up the jewelry and the watches and the wallets. If you're living in the projects, keep your ring safe like hobbits. Every day I'm wasted on a mission to Mordor. So I just think and write, then create and record more. If you can relate, then I guess that we're safe, mate. If you can relate, let me know if you can feel this. If one of us is hungry, then we're sharing the same plate. I ain't wanting nothing fake, I'm only seeking the realness. Just to get a rep, but who's gonna take the weight? People are confused, so I'm asking what the deal is. If you can relate, let me know. Can you relate? When I run out of weed, I just smoke hash instead. I wake up and blaze up, and then I go back to bed. Always got a stash, so I stay high permanently. Working shifts and chatting with producers out in Germany. Write rhymes at work and keep the pages in my pocket. Open cabinets, reset a trip, break it for a socket. Looking for a new plug, I need a better source. Cause the shit that's going round now ain't ketamine, of course. It's false advertising, and I ain't touching that bad batch. The next thing you know, these cunts will be sniffing anthrax. All I do is drink, get high and write mad facts. Others get stabbed in the back for a little bag of crack. No money back, no guarantee, no inland revenue. Like Del Boy Trotter, but with cocaine residue. Just sell this shit forever, keep avoiding the tax man. Walk around these mazes, eating pills like Pac-Man. If you can relate, then I guess that we're safe, mate. If you can relate, let me know if you can feel this. If one of us is hungry, then we're sharing the same plate. I ain't wanting nothing fake, I'm only seeking the realness. Just to get a rep, but who's gonna take the weight? People are confused, so I'm asking what the deal is. If you can relate, let me know. Can you relate? About what's wrong and right.
I really don't care.
Ask me if I give a fuck and you already know the answer. There's no superheroes here, Iron Man and Black Panther. Smoke it down to the roach, knowing that it causes cancer. I don't know, man, fuck it, just pass me the tray.
I really don't care.
Setting out my pieces so I play with an advantage. 4 AM, I'm wired out my face, driving to Stansted. Eat through valleys in the queue to get searched. Somehow I got to Germany with 20 in a fucking joint's worth. Like,
I really don't care.
Less reckless than I was, I'm feeling like a cold spring. Usually I'm blunt as fuck, but I'm on point like a bee sting. If it kicks off, I bet these witnesses didn't see a thing. My lifetime's gonna be as long as a piece of string.
I
don't really care, in the case it's an indifference. I really don't care, it's a statement of significance. Life is never fair, I got inspired by Voltaire to ask the deeper questions and not rely on false prayer. Edison exploiting Tesla, using the electric chair. I study history, disgusted, looking ahead with a cold stare. That's all I got, I don't give a fuck. Just a cold stare. Get me? Yo. I ain't daft as fuck, cause I ain't lacking common sense. I bring that impact like super subs coming off the bench. Always working with statistics, so I'm weighing up percents. Some are staying with the agency as permanent temps.
I really don't care.
People are increasingly the modern day slave. Work for peanuts, no inheritance, so they're robbing a grave. Our generation got mugged off, hustled, that's how it's set up. Treading water, almost dead struck, but
I really don't care.
I've gotta stay afloat, cause I ain't planning to sink. Time moves fast as a blink, exploring Hyrule with Link. Now my boy is getting tall, I Got a couple of grey hairs, dropping bombs on Mandy, walking around Mayfair like I don't give a shit about much, it's fucking blatant. I couldn't care less, would be a major understatement. I'm stressed out my nut, but some want me to be patient. Getting comfortable, but never complacent.
I smoke anybody, don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what I said. I don't give a fuck. I smoke anybody, don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what I said. I don't give a fuck.
And watch the telly, see the stars in their rise. Way back with Matthew Kelly. Hear about some next crazy tale of Matt Terry. Better to be feared than loved, as I'm quoting Machiavelli. If you cannot be both, it's better loved than hated. The one and only HMC stays underrated, cause getting this ball rolling, it's like shifting a boulder. Need someone to understand the shit I've written in a folder. Got a scar right here, it's called the chip on my shoulder. See the beauty of life is in the eye of the beholder. Crack another bottle, I'm making music on night shifts. Crash out with a pen in my hand at 5 to 6. I just keep on writing while reading in between the lines. Find it fascinating, human beings, unique designs. Do a few hand gestures, but I ain't speaking in sign. Keep on climbing higher levels until I'm reaching my prime. I've had a lot of regret and then transformed the negative into something positive. There's better ways to live. I look for clarity to try and be a better person. These verses I'm rehearsing, my son is the next version. A lot of regret and then transform a negative into something positive. There's better ways to live. Look for clarity to try and be a better person. These verses I'm rehearsing, my son is the next version. Those older generations used to sniff tins of glue. As kids we hung around the shop, always sipping iron brew. I spend my time these days telling stories that are true. Dublin Airport security let me walk through with a corkscrew. Always half cut and in no fit state to drive. Daily habits, blazing names, I need that 3.5. What does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? Think about some mad shit while I'm sat in a K-hole. Everything's connected, tapping into other levels. Life is like a dialectic, so I'm studying Hegels. From the Joy Riders, Reebok classics, stepping on pedals. Dudes fighting in the streets with knives, hammers and kettles. My mind never settles, it's overactive and paranoid. The tactics I've employed involve paraphrasing Freud. Put the town on the map, it's what I'm doing with Corby. Everywhere I go, I find a poet as being there before me. I've had a lot of regret and then transformed the negative into something positive. There's better ways to live. I look for clarity to try and be a better person. These verses I'm rehearsing, my son is the next version. A lot of regret and then transform a negative into something positive. There's better ways to live. Look for clarity to try and be a better person. These verses I'm rehearsing, my son is the next version. My son is the next version. My son is the next version.
Modern developments of lasers, everything in this tiny little part of the equation.
Living in the world today. death statistic. Don't become a death statistic. It's hard not to be pessimistic. True that. Living in the world today, it's hard not to be pessimistic. Trying to avoid jail cells or becoming a death statistic. If you got nothing to lose, the chances are it's best to risk it. While some smackheads survive on a pack of digestive biscuits. One day they may change their ways, but it ain't guaranteed. Biting the hand that feeds to keep a habit they don't need. Seeing the raw get stepped on, then cut up with the razor blades of poker players, ace of spades, needle sharing, spreading AIDS. Ambulances take people away with a broken rib cage. Cops in the back of a riot van with a list of places to raid. Junkies are noticeable, and it's cause their faces decay. And they're dumb as fuck, like a dog that runs to chase a grenade. Everybody better believe that I blatantly won't behave. I got this mad style that I was born with, and I'm taking it to the grave. But for now, I'm making music, so today I can save any thoughts within my brain that I then engrave on the page. It's hard not to be pessimistic, yo. Avoid becoming a death statistic. It's hard not to be pessimistic. Sitting at the park bench with a blunt and a can of beer. Round here, the orange streetlights of the town chandelier. These families that got evicted over a couple of grand a rear. Bailiffs and debt collectors, basing heroin injectors. They used to steal shit like schools, overhead projectors. Warehouse workers kicked to death by a colleague's toe tactors. Grow houses, badly wired, overload, cause a fire. Then a drought for those who chose to only buy from one supplier. These alley-led and copper thieves are robbing scrap metal. Motorbike police chasers stop to top up on petrol. Alkies queue outside the Corby candle for their breakfast. Suppliers drive around to try and move bars like Tetris. Handcuffed for nothing, like a court case of the magistrates. Gambling on the bandits, wired up on 3 grams of base. Solvent abuse, inhaling glue and buzzing gas. Single mothers with prams, they get used to watching buses pass. Yo, it's hard not to be pessimistic. Sat at the park bench with a blunt and a can of beer. Try and avoid becoming a death statistic, yo. Families got evicted. Living in the world today. What is it, man? I don't know. And the windows ain't tin. About to start a shift at work. Fresh in my breath with a mint. 2 sprays of aftershave and some chewing gums at least to take the scent off of me. In the locker room, my clothes reek. People misunderstand cause of the way that I speak. Saying I'm a pessimist, I say the future is bleak. Used to listen to Memphis Bleak, now I think about next week. See our time is short and sweet, so I don't turn the other cheek. Never arrogant or ignorant, but I ain't always happy. Didn't give a shit since the day they changed Harry's nappy. Listening to old tracks like Exhibit Paparazzi. On that classical shit, Leonardo and Gatsby. Only stating the facts, wait for economies to collapse. As capitalism crumbles, we're plastering over the cracks. Higher learning, that's what it is. See the flavor, I the fire. Music character, higher learning. Getting higher while I'm learning. We need that beat, so we can reach that. My eyes are bloodshot, cause I constantly smoke cheese. Learn about the mad feats achieved by Archimedes. Putting mixtapes out on USB instead of CDs. as I'm reading Charles Darwin on the origin of species. Connolly and Cheatley are on that mad rapping session, mastering our profession, same as natural selection. Need to visit Scott, cause we ain't caught up in years. Chill and have a couple of beers, so we can talk about careers before out here on the gear. Every day doing robberies, philosophize a lot, quoting Plato and Socrates. Stare at night skies as I wonder on astronomy. Copernicus to Galileo, Hubble to Ptolemy. Never showed an interest in history or geography. Shit's sweet for now, but it's probably ending horribly. Cunts do my nutting, asking daft questions constantly. Math is on my mind like calculus and geometry. Getting higher while I'm learning. Flame reflecting my burning just like terminal every terminal every.
Me, I don't have that problem. Me, I always tell the truth, even when I lie. You need people like me.
I'm always saying what I see, but still I'm on another frequency. These people better mean it if they're ever saying peace to me. Cause recently I feel I'm going harder with lyrics. I'm sending messages in different fields of particle physics. In this mad environment we all seen a lot of things. Now I witness how this life is puppeteers pulling strings. Somehow everyone's deluded with political distractions, using digital scales to weigh up imperial fractions. Sometimes I fuck up what I'm writing, then I start again. Then other times excellence flows out of this Paka pen. I hung around the hood as if my name is Peter Hauke. I got venom in my voice and my thoughts are even darker. I belong to this world and any bar is my local. These words become bars through rhymes, I'm getting vocal. The money that I've wasted, I would hate to think the total amount, it counts for nothing, and so I'm staying hopeful. The things take a turn for the best, learn to progress, setting higher standards these days, I deserve no less. I know I fucked up more times than I care to admit, but that don't mean for 1 second that I'm preparing to quit. I never give a shit, yeah, that's one of my best attributes. Focus on the future, don't forget your passion roots. Paper chasing, I ain't wasting cash on prostitutes. I'm just chilling out with my son, watching Shrek and Puss in Boots.
People like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say that's the bad guy.
My life's a mess, I wake up smoking green and drinking red, playing albums on YouTube, sat writing these pages on my bed, just so I can document psychotic thoughts going on in my head. Gamblers are losing cash on correct scores at Betfred. I've got a limited attention span. This man who doesn't care breaks every rule in the book, because this life ain't fucking fair. You know I never give a shit, and that's the way that it's gotta be. So best of luck to any prick who says he's got a problem with me. I'm here to stay from now until the day that I meet my maker, whereas some are wanting to do all they can to make them feel safer. There's no home security over here. I keep a blade by my bedside, plus I always blaze as many J's as it takes to get my head fried. Constantly getting baked out my nut like I'm Dave Chappelle. If life ever dealt me a bad hand of cards, I guess I played them well. I'm dropping knowledge like Raekwon, I'm on that heaven and hell. I always stayed a step ahead of the game, but these people never could tell. No disadvantage. Look at that. No disadvantage. No disadvantage. No disadvantage. Might have started from the bottom, but it was no disadvantage. Remembering all those harder times, so I ain't taking shit for granted. I've never been described by anyone as sly or underhanded. People are calling my number, asking if the eagle has landed. Cunts will easily spill the beans, but loose lips can sink ships. That's why I'm always running a tight ship and not stuck up in a shite tip. But I don't mean less than 15%. I stay paying the rent. I'm failing at saving for a mortgage, arranging these words so I can invent the next mad influential sequence of beats for the listener. This ain't magic, Harry Potter, Harry Houdini or Harry Krishna. It's the HMC, like an acronym, sat in an equation. Got connects that's Portuguese, Indian, African and Asian. I'm surrounded by the madness. Sometimes people do bad things. The bonds I keep are tight as fuck and sound like violin strings. I only got as far as I did because I was trusting my instincts. Always listening to Iron Man and only built for Cuban links. Just keeping my distance from anything that seems depressing. On Wednesday after school, taking my son for a swimming lesson. Get a couple of half-pounders and then I'm picking up an ounce. I gotta stop withdrawing this cash so I can keep it in accounts. Ask me how my job is going and I'd say I'm maintaining. Reading facts to fill in the gaps, so I'm staying brain training. Always goodwill hunting and playing the part of Matt Damon. Feel like Neil deGrasse Tyson as he's quoting Carl Sagan. Keep on showing up at work to support my rap habit. I'm on those old crime TV shows, Cracker and Taggart. Try to dodge Inspector Morse, I'm colder than a touch of frost. Google map my way around so I ain't getting fucking lost. It's the street dealer, but not Del Boy in a three-wheeler. A few joints and a couple of beers, I'm with my people playing FIFA. If I'm winning, then I deserve it, but if I lose, then I'm unlucky. Downloading these instrumentals from a man out in Kentucky. I'm feeling like a surfer, cause now I'm fiending on that next wave. Find it hard to stay out of debt while I'm always trying to save. I think about what I've forgotten already, cause my memory's fucked. Plus that isn't even what I meant when I said my mind's corrupt. Think about some sick shit that I'm gonna take to the grave. Those teachers, they knew from day one that these kids wouldn't behave. Now I'm programming a scanner to act as a master and a slave. Seeing paintings of animals done by early man sat in a cave. Shit's evolving a lot faster than we ever would have expected. Got to realign our focus on some things that we neglected. Videos get taken down because they're copyright protected, but it isn't the first time in my life that I felt rejected. Find me reading books, still I don't practice no theology. All I want is for these people to be feeling and acknowledge me. I'm speaking on the facts from the Rift Valley to cosmology. No religion, lost belief. I'm doing robberies with a copper thief. catch me quoting Freddie Mercury. I'm sizing up my own life as I sit and wonder what it's worth to me. I don't ever take shit personally because it's strictly business. I used to be out on that weekly routine collecting tick lists. Nowadays I just work shifts and paying these taxes, counting the weeks passing by, avoiding cocaine relapses, doing a favor for a friend, but I ain't bending over backwards. I'm surrounded by the real and never know fakes or actors. I'm stepping out on the streets with a fresh pair of Nike Airs, and people are stupid wrecked, so don't be expecting them to fight fair. Common decency doesn't exist, or at least it's quite rare. Cunts are getting jumped for something less than a slight stare. It's nightmares and dreams, but it seems like everybody's crazy. Thinking back when we used to score hash sticks off of McGrady, skin up in the Pluto pub, getting served at the age of 14. I've always been on that Kobe scene, but all is not as it seems. Nothing really matters, man.
And stars and planets in the universe, and everything the standard model describes is just 5% of the total content of the universe. 27% of it, so more than 5 times more of the universe, is made of this invisible dark matter stuff, and we don't know what that is. And then 68% is something called dark energy, and we really don't know what that is. So dark energy is some kind of mysterious repulsive force that appears to be causing the universe to expand at an ever-increasing rate. So the lesson from this is essentially when you hear the word dark in physics, you should get very suspicious because it basically means we don't know what we're talking about. And this is really an extraordinary position to find yourself in. You've constructed this, what seems to be this stunningly successful theory over a century with all these clever experiments and clever theories, and then you realise that what you've been describing is actually only a tiny fraction of the total content of the universe. So we're in this extraordinary position of having a theory that works really, really, really well in the very narrow domain in which we've applied it, but tells us basically nothing about 95% of what's out there.